In the last video, we saw our protagonist receiving 100 land certificates from the system. For those who missed the previous part, click the eye icon at the top of the video to access the playlist, and then you can continue watching this one. Now, on to the next part. Our protagonist is taking care of his mother in the hospital. She's doing well and even praises him, saying, "My son is so considerate, even peeling fruit for me." But just as they're having this sweet moment, their conversation is interrupted by the doctor. The doctor turns to Xingwang and says, "The surgery was very successful, and now all her indicators have returned to normal. We're preparing for her discharge." Upon hearing this, Xingwang is completely shocked. Xingwang, still in shock, turns to the doctor. "Doctor, my mom just had surgery yesterday. She's still in the recovery observation period. Let's not rush things. We'll pay the hospital fees on time, and I'd also like to arrange a comprehensive examination for her." Before he could finish his thought, the doctor cuts him off. "What I meant is that I've already processed her discharge." The doctor then turns to a nurse beside him and instructs her to help pack up the patient's things. Xingwang's face darkens, feeling uneasy. His mother, sensing his worry, calls out to him, her voice filled with concern. But before Xingwang can reply, the doctor, now visibly annoyed, speaks sharply. "It means exactly what I said. Is there something you don't understand? The patient is fine. Hurry up and make room for others. Stop wasting medical resources. Or do you like this hospital so much that you want to die here?" At that moment, Xingwang reaches for the knife lying on the table. Seeing this, the doctor shouts, "Holding a knife in a hospital? Are you trying to cause trouble? Put it down, or I'll call security." Xingwang's mother, now frantic, grabs her son's arm. "Let's just go home, dear. There's no need to spend more money. Look, I'm already better, and the doctor says I'm fine." Seeing his mother's worried expression, Xingwang softens and says, "Mom, you just had surgery. Your wound hasn't healed yet. Be careful." The doctor, flashing a fake smile, chimes in, "See, your mother understands. Be a good son and listen to her." He then snaps at the nurses, "Make sure they pack up properly. Don't leave anything behind. No belongings or bad luck." Xingwang, visibly angry, strides toward the door. Before leaving the room, he turns to his mother and says, "Mom, we can't waste the peeled apple. You eat it first. I'll have someone come pick you up. There's something I need to take care of." Hearing this, his mother calls out, worry in her voice, "Xingwang, don't fight with them. We common folk can't win against people like that." Xingwang smiles at her, his tone gentle. "Don't worry, Mom. I won't use force." He reassures her before stepping out of the room. The scene shifts to Dr. Li on his phone, talking to Xingwang's cousin. "I've arranged everything. Your friend's wife can move in right away. Even a sprained ankle should be taken seriously. Tendons and bones take 100 days to heal. After all." Xingwang's cousin, smoking a cigarette, replies, "Good work, Dr. Li. You move fast." Dr. Li, eager to please, quickly responds, "Of course. We have to be quick. That Xingwang is just a poor guy. How can he compare to your family's generosity? They even delayed paying their medical bills for half a month. It's only thanks to your family that we could cover the costs." Xingwang's cousin replies over the phone, "I'll leave the follow-up to you, Director. I'll treat you to dinner later to thank you properly." Hanging up, he smirks to himself, "On my turf. Does Hang Xingwang really think he can cause trouble?" At the same time, Dr. Li, also ending the call, thinks to himself, "I'm pretty good at handling these things." Unbeknownst to them, Xingwang, standing outside the door, has overheard everything. He mutters to himself, "A bribe, huh? No wonder. Fine, let's play with money. But can money really make the impossible happen? This feels like showing off in front of an expert." Xingwang then knocks on the director's office door. Upon entering, the director, looking confused, asks, "Who are you?" With a calm smile, Xingwang replies, "Me? I'm just an ordinary patient." The director waves him off, annoyed. "If you're sick, go to the registration desk. I don't see patients here." Xingwang continues, "Director, I'd like to discuss donating a building to the hospital." The director pauses for a moment, then says dismissively, all right, if you have any issues, consult the front desk. I'm very busy, so I won't be seeing you out." Suddenly, the director freezes as the words register in his mind. He looks at Xingwang in disbelief and stammers, "Wait, what did you just say? Do you even know how much it costs to donate a building?" This young man looks so ordinary. The director thinks his entire outfit probably isn't worth more than 200 yuan. Donating a building? Is he joking? Xingwang, seeing the shock on the director's face, calmly responds, I know. I've looked into it. There's no problem at all. Shall we go through the process? He thinks to himself, building a small hospital wing in a country town costs around 1 million yuan these days. That's just a drop in the bucket for me, a multimillionaire. Benefiting the people and solving my problem? Seems very worthwhile. Xingwang calmly states, I understand that our ward is often overcrowded, with frequent instances where there aren't enough rooms. That's why I want to donate a building. First, to make things more convenient for patients who need to be hospitalized after surgery, so they can be properly accommodated. Second, I want to investigate whether there are any corrupt practices happening here. The director raises an eyebrow, then responds, I understand the frustration from patients' families due to the lack of beds, but there's no need for baseless suspicion. So that's what he's after, the director thinks. He's just looking for an excuse to report us. Xingwang continues, I know the dean is also under pressure due to the shortage of hospital beds. However, in situations like this, some people are taking bribes and giving the already scarce beds to special connections, harming ordinary patients' interests. I think that's wrong. At this, the director abruptly stands up, his face flushed with anger. I've been managing this hospital for over 10 years. In our county hospital, doctors never take bribes or gifts. We strictly forbid red envelopes. Xingwang, unfazed, replies, My mother just had major surgery yesterday and is still in recovery. Yet, today, the attending physician is forcing us to be discharged to make room for the next patient. As far as I know, that patient only has a sprained ankle, and simple treatment at home would suffice. The director interrupts angrily. You're making things up? Yes, our wards are crowded, but we don't discharge a patient who just had major surgery. That doesn't align with our hospital procedures. Even if a patient insists on being discharged, we'd require them to sign a liability waiver. If you're going to fabricate a story, at least make it factual and reasonable. Xingwang, remaining calm, pulls out a small voice recorder from his pocket and says, Dean, there's no need to get upset. How about you listen to this recording first? The director's face drains of color as he stares at the recorder, suddenly feeling a knot of dread in his stomach. Hey, recording, he stammers. With growing unease, he silently listens to the conversation between Dr. Li and Xingwang's cousin. After a few moments of tense silence, the director finally speaks. How do I know this recording isn't fake or edited? We won't take the blame for this without proof. Xingwang looks at the director, thinking to himself, are you really this naive, or are you deliberately trying to cover it up? Without saying a word, Xingwang pulls out his phone and dials a number. Hello, Engineer Kong from the city's Construction Unit 1? I'd like to discuss building a new facility for our county hospital. Could you come to the dean's office to go over the details with the dean himself? Yes? Great. I'll see you shortly. Xingwang glances at the director's shocked face. Let's see how far you'll take this bluff. The director thinks to himself, unwilling to admit defeat. Xingwang hands his phone to the director and says with a calm smile, Dean, maybe it's hard to believe a building can just drop from the sky. Why don't you have a quick chat? It'll only take a few minutes. Don't let a bit of stubbornness cost you a whole building. The director, now unsure, takes the phone and says, Hello, this is Dean Liu from the county hospital. On the other end, Engineer Kang's voice booms through. Dean Liu, you're quite fortunate getting a free building out of the blue like that. The director freezes, instantly recognizing the voice. It's really Engineer Kong, he thinks, shock spreading across his face. He glances at Xingwang, now seeing him in a completely different light. This man, is he really this wealthy while keeping such a low profile? A little while later, Xingwang and the director are sitting together on the same sofa. Xingwang looks the director in the eyes and says, So, do you believe me now? About the donation? Now let's talk about the recording. If I can donate a building to your hospital, why on earth would I need to fake evidence? Before the director can respond, Xingwang adds, And if one building isn't convincing enough, how about two? The director's eyes widen in disbelief. What? Xingwang stands up, preparing to leave. I don't have any unreasonable demands, Dean. All I ask is that you severely reprimand that careless doctor, thoroughly investigate the unfair practices here, and make sure that regular patients can get the care they deserve. The director nods quickly, still in shock. Of course. As Xingwang walks to the door, the director calls after him. May I ask your name? Without turning back, Xingwang simply replies, I'm just an ordinary kid from a farming family, doing what's right for the people. My name isn't important, but if you need one, you can write down Messenger of Justice. With that, Xingwang strides out of the office, leaving the director staring after him, speechless. As soon as Xingwang leaves the office, the director snatches up the phone, his voice sharp and urgent. Bring me the most recent discharge records, immediately. I want to know who was discharged right after surgery. The scene shifts to Dr. Lee, standing just outside a patient ward. A nurse approaches him from behind and says, "Dr. Lee, the dean is waiting for you outside." He nervously replies, "Okay," and walks over, his face turning pale as he sees the dean's stern expression. Moments later, we see Dr. Lee on his knees, clasping his hands together, pleading desperately, "Dean, please don't fire me. I have elderly parents to care for and young children at home. I can't afford to lose this job." The director looks down at him, expression cold. "You have elderly parents and young children, but what about the patients? Don't they have families too? A doctor like you, with no medical ethics. Find another job. Our small county hospital can't afford to keep someone like you." The scene transitions to Xingwang's cousin, Hang Datsai, sitting by the water with his girlfriend. They're laughing and relaxing, soaking their feet in the water. His friend turns to him and says, "Honey, your career's on the rise. Will we be able to buy a house in the city soon?" Hang Datsai, grinning smugly, replies, "Of course." Hang Datsai is suddenly interrupted by a man storming towards him, frustration evident on his face. The man glares at him and says, "Didn't you say you had a great connection and even bribed the doctor? How come my wife just spoke to them, and now she's being asked to leave? Her injury has gotten worse because of this mess. She's so angry. She won't even let me into the bedroom." Datsai, startled, jumps up from his seat, wide-eyed. "What?" Trying to maintain his composure, Datsai quickly pulls out his phone, showing it to the man. "Wait, maybe they don't know you're my brother. Let me call and clear this up." He starts dialing Dr. Lee's number. Thank you for watching. I want to express my gratitude to those who have subscribed to my channel. I encourage you to support me by subscribing and joining to my channel, and I will be Manhwa recap videos in every day. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next installment.